Hello, this is Cheryl. I'm glad you're back. Welcome. In this video, I had an idea of taking my color layering dies and turning them into stamps in order to use them to stamp on a card, as well as trying to use them with a gel print. So what you're seeing now is I have a piece of fun foam that has an adhesive back in them, and I'm going to take my dies, lay them on my Big Shot machine, and I'm going to run them through the machine. The fun foam die cuts super easily, so I'm going to be able to take those images and stick them to a flat surface in order to create stamps. Once my pieces are die cut, I take them out of my machine and I take out my stamp positioner, put in a piece of paper and tape it down. Now I have a position it here. You could also use one of those L-shaped acrylic blocks that are used for stamp positioning. Anything that you can have a piece of paper in a stationary spot so that you can make sure to stamp in exactly the same spot. So I'm taking my dies off of my foam pieces and I'm going to poke out all the little bits and detail from the die cuts, and then I'm going to put them on that piece of paper with the sticky side of my foam up. Now, to be honest, the most frustrating and hardest part of this whole process was trying to remove the sticky pieces from my fingers when I was laying them down. So once you got that done, the whole process is really quite easy. And sometimes you'll see me use that die pick to push things around just to try to have them not stick on my hands. So the first part I'm sticking down is the large base pieces of those butterflies. And then I'm going to stamp the image so that I have a placement to put my other layer on. Once I have the layout how I like it, I can take the sticky back or the backing off of the sticky side of that foam and lay them down with the sticky side up. I found these wood panels at my local dollar store. You could also use pieces of chipboard that would work exactly the same way. So before I do anything with the foam pieces, I'm taking a piece of packing tape and I'm making a little flap for the back of my wood panel so that I have something to hold onto easily. Then I'm going to place it snug with the L part of the positioning tool, and I'm going to press it down onto those foam pieces so they stick to my wood panel. After that, I'm going to ink my stamp and stamp it. Now that I have the first layer stamped, I'm going to work on my second layer. And what I did was I would put the die close to the one that I was working on so that I could see easily where those pieces actually fit. once I had those butterfly pieces put for the first butterfly, I actually decided to put them onto my wood panel one butterfly at a time so that I wouldn't chance touching the sticky back of that butterfly and moving the pieces where they weren't supposed to be. Now that the pieces are in place for my second butterfly, I'm going to put them onto my wood panel as well, and then start working on the third butterfly. The pieces for my third butterfly are in place, so I'm going to put them onto my wood panel, and then I'm going to take some ink and I'm going to stamp those parts of the butterfly down as well. Partly to ensure that I have all my pieces in the right spot, and partly to test what I have in my mind to see if it's going to work. And the last step on this color layering die is putting the centers of the butterflies, the butterfly bodies in place. And that I do one at a time as well. Once I have all three in place, I'm going to ink them with some black ink and stamp those butterfly bodies. And that is how the image turned out. I was quite happy with how it turned out and figured why not turn it into a card. So I grabbed some coordinating pink cardstock, cut it in half so I could make a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. This is just a very simple, basic card design. I'm not doing anything real extravagant with it. I'm just leaving it very, very simple. So my white piece is already cut down to the size that I want, so I'm going to glue that to the card base. And then I'm going to add some stickles just to add some sparkle to the edges of the butterfly and the end of the butterfly antenna. I was really happy with how this turned out and decided I'm probably going to do that with a couple of my other color layering dies, because why not use our tools for more than what they were intended? The last thing the card needed was a little sentiment, so I stamped that in the corner with some black ink. As I said before, I just added a touch of Stickles just to add a little sparkle to the card. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification button to get notified when more videos get posted. I hope you have a fabulous day.